Hi friends, it's Sheryl from Tutoring with Sheryl and the Tech Coach for Tutors. Today's chat is all about technology that maybe you're a little bit hesitant to try. And I get it. We maybe are feeling old-fashioned, and we are a tutor who prefers to use paper and pencil, and you think that's really the only way that students can learn. And I will not tell you that ignoring paper and pencil is a must. That's not true. Even in my online tutoring, my students still have to have access to paper and pencil. And if they don't have paper and pencil, they need to have something to write on to show me their thinking. If we are going to do a tremendous amount of writing and I don't feel that the whiteboard is appropriate for them based on the tools that they have at hand, then they're going to use paper and pencil. So please don't get me wrong. There's a need for that. That's a tool that I want them to have on hand. But I do want you to consider the fact that these kids are growing up in an environment where they are very tech savvy, and they can probably do more than what you think. And depending on the age of your student, if you're working with a student that's in third grade or up, they're most likely using an iPad or some sort of a computer at school, and they're doing some Word documents. And we can't ignore the fact that they're growing up in a digital age where, even to get their money, they might have to know how to push some buttons and work, the ATM, or many of them already have access to a phone, or they have a tablet that they're using. So they're already pretty savvy. And so we can't ignore that fact. There can be distractions. I understand that. But I do want you to think about your current tutoring situation and what that looks like. And could you use technology to enhance or support some things that are already going on? So I'm going to give you some examples. And even if you're not an online tutor and you're just meeting in person, let's think what their phone, your phone, a tablet, or computer can do to boost the level of learning, or maybe support the level of learning. Maybe it's not to boost it. Maybe it's just more to support it or enhance it, supplement. That might be a better word. What you're currently doing with the kids. So I'm going to take a little walk down memory lane here. And I've been tutoring now. This is my 4th year of tutoring. I'm starting my 5th year of tutoring because this is my 3rd year out of the classroom. So we'll get that clear. And the first 2 years I was working for a national company and was just trying to figure out if there was something that I could do that would support them digitally. And a lot of my stuff was still on paper and pencil. But what I found was it was a lot easier, like if a student was working on some sort of a writing project, to use a shared document such as a Google Doc. So that was kind of my go-to if I wasn't using the whiteboard that was supplied by the company. Then I retired. I opened up my own independent reading, tutoring, support group, I guess, or tutoring job. And I was supporting students with math a lot. And at that point, I was using Google Jamboard. But Google Jamboard is gone now. And I wasn't using it with everybody because when I first started, I was going to people's houses. But I found that, they weren't super excited about the old-fashioned flashcards, but if I could either create a game, which it might be paper, pencil, and those types of things, or if I could find a game online that they could just play for like 2 minutes, and I'm seriously talking 2 minutes. I get the game set up, I tell them what they're going to do, and they have 2 minutes of independent practice before we applied whatever it happened to be. Then we would go ahead and study the math facts that way. And that seemed to really get them excited about wanting to practice their math facts so that the next time they could get further into the game. So I found that by showing them something that we were going to do the next time, but then encouraging them to study the flashcards that I was leaving, or showing them another space where they could find a digital flashcard, that they were a little bit more excited about learning those math facts. And I wasn't spending 20 minutes on flashcards, like literally 2 minutes. And I still do a lot of that today. I try to incorporate little things along the way that are going to enhance what we're doing really challenge the student, maybe put them in a timed situation so that they're going to have quick recall of the information, and then move them forward so that, we've had that practice. But now that we've had that practice and our brain is engaged and we're ready to go, we're going to apply that practice. And I think it's really in your approach. So whether you're working online with the student or whether you're working in person with the student, there are some really amazing things that you can use. Now, you can tell I'm driving this. I'm on one of those moments of, I got to thinking about this. I want to share it. And as a matter of fact, if you hear something really wiggling in the background, and I'm going to go over some railroad tracks here so you might really hear it. I bought some new metal chairs. So I was out and about spending some money, but sorry, that's kind of a side note. So let's get back to what I was saying. When we're thinking about ways that we can enhance or use technology, there's some really great sites. And one of the sites that I really rely on, especially for math facts, quick recall, is Math Playground. And if you are not familiar with Math Playground, I'm just going to have you look it up. It's literally mathplayground.com. And on there, I don't know if they go all the way down to kindergarten, but I know it's 1st through 6th grade for sure. And you can click on the grade level, or you can do a search for the topic, like if it's addition or subtraction, multiplication, division. They do have things for algebraic thinking. They've got puzzles. They do have a spelling portion on there, which I use actually pretty frequently. And they have some grammar things that you can rely on. But they're literally games that the kids can set up very, very quickly. And then they usually last about 2 minutes. And so whatever skill you want to support the child in, they can quickly work on that. And they know that if they're getting frustrated, they probably don't know that. So there's a little bit of a push to learn them a little bit more, the math facts or whatever skill it happens to be. But, if you see the student is struggling, and struggle is great, but if they're to the point where they're struggling and they can't get past the struggle, then you just simply say, we're going to move on and try something different. And what are you teaching the student at that time? Okay, well, first of all, you're teaching them that the math facts or whatever, those things are important. Secondly, they're going to use what they've been learning. Then you're also teaching them that sometimes it's hard. You're teaching them how to use their digital skills, and you're making it fun. And tutoring can be fun. I mean, I think, my title is Tutoring with Sheryl. Maybe I should have named myself something else. I'm not sure. But I don't think that tutoring should be a bad word. Tutoring should be a good word, because you're working with a professional who, has the ability to sit down with your child and help boost their confidence. And if it's, practice you're looking for and you can't supply it and you need an expert, then you find somebody who is the expert. Okay, so Math Playground, if you're a parent or if you're a tutor, definitely check that out. Now, there's another one. I think this teacher has done a great job of building out his platform. It's Mr. Nussbaum, Nuss, I believe it's BAUM, MrNussbaum.com, I believe is what it is. And he has literally created these little games that are maybe a little bit more challenging. So I had one ready to use with a student yesterday, but we ran out of time because we got busy doing something else. And it's okay, because it'll be on my list of things to do the next time I visit with the student. But he has a cute little Halloween activity where the kids go through the maze, and then if they get captured or by, like a lobster that's chasing them or something, or crab, whatever it was, that's chasing them, then they have to stop and do like 10 math facts. But the really cool part is that it's fun. So they go through the maze for a little bit, and then they stop and they do a few problems, and then they go through the maze and they stop and they do a few problems. And so they're highly engaged, because they know the faster they answer the questions, the sooner they're going to get through their practice problems, or back to the maze. So it's fun. Now, there is a wonderful, wonderful place to go and get more of the language arts practice, and it's WordWall. And right now, I'm pretty sure it's wordwall.net, and you can specifically search for games. It will appear that you need to be a member, And if you're a member, then you can create your own games and you can save them. But I have found that I can type in a specific skill or a specific vowel sound or letter combination, or maybe they need to work on the difference between nouns and verbs or something like that because they just can't quite get it. So we do a little teaching and then we go practice. And so I'll put that into the search bar and I'll say word wall, and sometimes I can find a game. And they're so simple, but yet they're so engaging. And I've literally taken some of those games, those links, and put them into the library for my students on Google Classroom so that I don't have to go find them. The link is already there and they can go directly back into them. And even 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th graders find them very entertaining, but I can quickly see at a glance whether or not that's something that they've mastered or that we have to go back and practice. So I don't want you to shy away from technology. There's so many cool apps and different locations that are available on the internet, but I think best practice is, and so I'm going to kind of put that teacher hat back on, that you want to go and practice with those tools yourself so that you know what to expect, and then you want to examine them in light of, is this meeting a goal or helping my child to meet a goal? So the student's goal is what you have in mind, and then you're looking for tools that are going to support their growth. If you are an in-person tutor, you can spend a lot of time creating or purchasing things and taking them to the student, and the student maybe only uses them twice the entire time that you're tutoring them. But if you are a tutor, whether you're in person or online, you can find destination sites, links, such as I'm referring to, that you can pull up, and many of them are free. And so I think the goal is to not go broke while you're teaching, because teachers don't make that much anyway. Tutors, you set your own price. And I think you want to find things that are highly engaging, but also very effective for the child that you're currently working with. I have 2 more things to talk about, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I have a subscription to education.com. I love education.com. When I went to get my subscription, I had to use a parent account, which is completely fine. But on the parent account or the single account, whatever it was, I could